Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they interplay in this one. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
His athleticism in college was never in question. In fact, many NFL scouts thought he might be better suited to play receiver, but always believed in himself, always wanted to be a quarterback, and continues to prove his worth at that position in the NFL.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Eluding the pressure right. With a juke. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. And an alley to run. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or...
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Fletcher Cox forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Jay Ajayi's gonna go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Taylor. And he fires one incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Taylor now off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions. And
now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll hand it off now. Hill. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 14 carries, 106 yardage-wise, and the score as well.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks, and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And a catch is made by Justin Hardy. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll run with Drake, and he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week.
And the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher Cox in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
On first down, Drake. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Now it's Taylor. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. 1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Sanders' kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. This is Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On the give, this is Drake. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Taylor to throw on second down. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cameron Wake. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it'll bring up third down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Ertz over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Taylor to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. It's caught. Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They convert on third with a gain of 22. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Drake. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, Taylor. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Tyrod Taylor with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Wentz now on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, yeah, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You got to think that they feel great about where they are.
Julio Jones all alone. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Julio Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On second down, here's Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Drake will start the drive on the ground, and he'll power his way up near the 25. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. Torrey Smith, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll stay in the Northeast as we head down to FedEx Field in Washington to check in on the Redskins. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. In our game, it's Tyrod Taylor who's been on the offensive in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Wake in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. They run with a giant, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Montgomery. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
They begin the drive with Hill. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Preston Smith able to drop him for a loss of 4. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From midfield, here's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain. 46 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get. Run after the catch ability.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
And Taylor cannot escape. He goes down to the end zone. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to loft it, deep right sideline. They got his man, complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
To throw, it's Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mario Edwards forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but he still had a lot of...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Sean Lee with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This from 54 yards away. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face
Personal
mask.
foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Julio Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's Wentz to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On first down, Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
They go play action now. Taylor able to get away. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that, and even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles are back within a score. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, you know, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down. The Dolphins on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He's going to look deep down the field. That one goes for 36 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Now Taylor on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. Hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities, you get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The kick by Sanders is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. In need of both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion here, down 8.
It's time to just separate those two in his mind. Okay, the 2-point conversion will have to come later. I remember playing for a coach and hearing him tell our quarterback, son, there is no such thing as an 8-point play. So let's not even worry about that. Get it into the end zone. We've got the 2-point play cooked up. But let's get to that when the time is right.
They'll be trying to focus on the 6. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. Back to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. The 20. Fights through at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. He'll look to throw. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles move back within a couple of the lead.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the two-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for an onside kick.
They would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that two-point conversion. Huge, huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of. The two-point conversion to get this thing tied.
So now here come the Dolphins. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Michael Bennett in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Throwing now is Taylor. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's third down.
Now they're just trying to do anything possible to try and get the ball downfield and get into field goal range.
And with that clock dwindling, they felt the need to take a pretty big shot there. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it. The Dolphins on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be third and forever. Now it's Taylor. They'll roll him out right. Pushing his way inside the 40. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Taylor to throw. He sets to fire deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow, I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Here's Taylor. Looking deep for Julio. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They run. Montgomery. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Escaping the pressure right, and that is incomplete. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Being chased out left. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Foul, face mask, defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
26 yards on the play there. Running, it's Drake. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Here's Taylor, forced out to his left. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner. A partner, a great game that we got to see, and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Miami, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week as they will take